When most people hear the word boundary, they probably associate it with uncomfortable feelings, like anger that the boundary was crossed, dread of hurting someone's feelings by setting the boundary, or avoidance for fear of rejection. Not to mention, on the receiving end, feeling shame, embarrassment, and guilt for crossing the boundary in the first place, and rejection for not being permitted within that boundary. But is it possible for this word to be associated with something different, such as neutral or sweet even? And if so, how does that happen? I'm Dana Hicks, a licensed clinical mental health counselor, and I have a boundary analogy for your sensual and relational pleasure. So imagine a fine chocolate with a tough outer shell that supports this precious, yummy goo within it. So without this tough, defined outer shell, the goo would just run everywhere into clueless surfaces rather than on our ever so grateful tongues. So boundaries, like this tough outer shell, can be hard, fast, and even sharp at times. But once someone's needs are identified, clearly communicated, and respected, it provides this space and time that is so appropriate and safe and supportive for this precious, yummy gooiness of intimacy to not only take place, but continue to take place. So the boundary setter's goo, if you will, is agency when defining and enforcing their unique needs for a satisfying relationship. And the receiver's goo is knowing what to expect, being able to make informed decisions, and trusting that the outcome will be as expected. As long as the role of setter and receiver are reciprocally shared, a two-way deliciousness is continually protected and preserved. So to wrap up, the next time you feel the need for or find yourself on the receiving end of a boundary, pause to contemplate this delectable analogy. Perhaps you'll end up thanking both the chocolate and the boundary gods for such a beautiful life. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe below with no strings attached.